Hello?
Hello. Hello, Mr. Gordon.
Your name says iPhone. It's,
Phil Angelo from Kankakee, Illinois.
yes.
Now, I tried clicking in on your, Easy Connect login,
Yeah.
but it kept giving me a message that it's not a correct number.
Oh, that's strange.
So I'm dialing in by phone.
Oh. I thought I had all that straightened out. That's weird.
It could be something in my computer. It could be
Well,
operator-induced error.
no, I hope I had the right login. I hoped I had the right login, but I gotta go back and look. The login doesn't change. It's always the same.
Well, let me try it one. Let me try it once again. I mean, I can get you up on my phone, which is good, but I won't be able to do illustrations over my phone. But I'm going to try one more time here.
Here comes Mary. Let me ask her. Mary, can you hear me, Mary? Turn on your speaker. There she is. Mary.
Hello.
Mary, there you are. Listen, were you
Here I am. Can you hear me?
were you able to log in okay?
Back. Oh, okay.
They can't see your face.
Okay.
Were you able to log in okay? Mary, can you hear me? Mary, were you able to log in okay from your computer? Can you hear me, Mary? I can hear something. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Mary? Mary? I think the meeting hasn't officially started yet. That might have something to do with it.
For 10, I was too tired, so I decided to sleep.
Mary, can you hear me yet? Mary.
Sorry, my grandma's having.
Mary, can you hear me yet?
I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Did you have any trouble logging in? Did you have
I
trouble?
was having a
logging-
little trouble before.
Oh, you were? That might be because the meeting hasn't started yet. But you logged in through the computer, right? Hello? She's got her headphones on. I can hear with my headphones. I have a feeling she's not listening to me.
So do you think if I try again at 4 o'clock, the meeting will officially start and I can get in through the computer?
Yeah, you should.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, I'm going. I have it as 3:59 on my machine right now, so I'm going to try again at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
But even if it doesn't do that by computer, I can certainly talk over the phone here.
Yeah,
and I presume you can.
But you wouldn't be able to share the screen that way, though.
That's correct.
Yeah.
We will give it
Try
another.
it.
We will give it another whiz bang here.
Because the numbers were all correct. Yeah, try again with the computer.
It all comes under the heading of a watch pot never boils. Oh, wait a minute. It just turned 4 o'clock now. I'm going to see what I can do.
Okay. And there's a passcode if you need it. But you shouldn't need it. It's all automatic.
Okay. This is too scary. Pretend you saw some mushroom. Pretend you saw some more of the things you got. Of the river. Yeah.
No, I still get a message on my screen. It says the meeting ID is not valid. Please check and try again.
Well, the numbers are right.
Well, I'm going to try. I'm going to try again.
Dun dun dun. Yeah.
Oh, Tim. Can you hear me?
No, I can't hear you at all, Van. Not at all. Not even in a.
I have a question.
Yeah, we're good.
Were you able to log in normally?
I'll say yes, because it asked for the meeting number, and I gave it. Then it asked for a password, and I gave it, and here I am.
Oh, okay.
Are you on through your phone? Oh, sorry.
Hi, Dan. I see you are there. Hi, Mary.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, iPhone.
No, she's talking to the phone.
Our guest is having trouble logging in on his computer. But since well, I'm gonna mute Mary right now because we're getting her family. Anyway, our guest was having trouble logging in on his computer, and I was checking, but Mary logged in okay, and you logged in okay. So I don't know what's going wrong. Maybe it's the time.
Obviously, he must be this person must be a very special person.
Yeah. Well, he had to log in on his phone because his computer wouldn't log in for him. And but since you and Mary both logged in, it's not the login code. So there's something else wrong. I don't know what it is.
When did she die?
Well, is this our special guest who's
Well, I can log in using a phone number, but I can't seem. In other words, I used the dial-in and I got in here,
right?
But I was trying to log in on the computer by using your quick link number. And when I punch that, it gives a message saying this meeting ID is not valid. Please check and try again. I've tried that several times. So I think it's not going to function. I don't know if it's a question of my computer being too old or the connection not being proper. I have no idea. I mean, I can certainly talk to everyone, and I have my notes here, and it'll be fine. I think we'll just do the best we can.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. But since Mary and Tim both logged in, it must be working right. I don't know what it could be.
You must be Phil Angelo. Hi, Phil.
I'm Phil. You got it.
All right. All right. My incredible detective skills are working.
He's officially known as I Phil today.
There you go. Well, you have an audience of 3.
Okay. Do you usually have more people log in, or is this the group?
Well, no, we usually get more, but sometimes it takes them a while.
Well, do you have other business you want to pursue, or do you just want me to go ahead and start when you want me to start? You tell me what your protocol is.
Why don't we wait for about 20 minutes or so and see if other people join us?
Okay, now it's good
okay.
now. And
well, I tell you what is.
Oh my God.
20 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, 10.
Yeah, well, I got 7 past the hour on my computer
Me
clock
too.
here. Yeah, I don't think waiting till 4:25 would do you much good, but maybe waiting till 4:10.
There you go.
A couple of questions. Long as we're connecting here, tell me a little bit about your group. Where does your name originate? How many members do you have? And do you meet once a month? Do you meet 3 times a year? What's your protocol?
Okay, the Bloodstream Games comes from a phrase in the Adventure of the Devil's Foot.
Okay.
And that's our signature episode, our signature story. And we've been around since, oh geez, how long is that now? Somewhere in the 70s, I think.
Whoa.
Yeah, about 50 years now. And we had a group of about 20 to 30 people. We're not as big as some of the other groups, but we've been around a long time. We're in the Los Angeles area, and we have when we don't have the virus, we usually have monthly meetings at somebody's house.
Welcome to the dance hall.
And let me
Okay. Oh, sorry.
And we usually have a monthly meeting at somebody's house, and you know, food and stuff like that. But since we haven't been able to do that, we decided to start Zoom meetings. But our club president is Carol Fleming, and she had something else to do today, so she couldn't join our meeting. So I'm standing in as host. I'm sort of a vice president, although we don't have those kind of offices. We have our main person was Paula Salo, but she passed away a few years ago, and so we started carrying on from her. And I don't know what she would think of Zoom, but we hope to have home meetings again someday. But I don't think we'll be able to go to Hawaii. Mary's in Hawaii. She's a long distance champion. Even with you joining us, she still holds the record. Until we get somebody from Eastern China, she will hold our record. Unless Tim happens to be in outer space right now. But I don't know, I keep muting Mary and she keeps unmuting. So I don't know what that's all about. But I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Oh, let's see what it says.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, it's 4:12 here. In the interest of making use of everyone's time,
okay.
I'm going to go ahead and start. Okay.
All right.
I'm going to do a couple of things here. First of all, I want to tell you a little bit about me before I start. I'm a retired newspaper editor. For many years, I wrote a great variety of things. I've written news stories, feature stories, book reviews, question and answer interviews, the type of interview you used to see in Playboy, although I didn't write for Playboy, and newspaper editorials. I give programs about Sherlock Holmes and programs about the Civil War to books and clubs. The Sherlock Holmes book, which I'll talk about a little bit later, Raise Your Glass to Sherlock Holmes, is my third book. I am the Altamont, which is our word for president, of the South Downers, which is a Sherlock Holmes club that meets in the South Suburbs of Chicago. We meet every month. We meet once a month, and every month we cover a different case. So in the course of a 5-year span, we will, of course, have covered all 60 cases, the 4 novels and the 56 short stories. Now, when we say cover the case, that means 2 things. With every meeting, we have a quiz, and we have a quiz master, and the quiz is on that particular case in the canon. And when we come to the novels, we break the novels up into sections, 2 or 3 different sections. And we also give a toast. We always have a toast to the case. And sometimes we have additional toasts. So in the course of 5 years, of course, you cover everything. So in writing my book, having been a member for a long period of time, coming up on 30 years, I realized that I had a toast for virtually every case. And I talked to somebody who was a publisher who said, geez, write the last 4 or 5 and then you got a book. So that's what I did, and that's the origin of the book. Now, before we get to the actual toast, I'm going to talk a little bit about a recent program I gave, again, because we covered different cases. This is about the case of Charles Augustus Milverton, which is, of course, the case about blackmail. Charles Augustus Milverton is not the only case in the canon where blackmail seems to be an obvious crime. Black Jack of Ballarat, if you can remember him, was putting the screws to John Turner in the Boston Valley mystery. Now, there are plenty of other cases in the Sherlock Holmes. Keeping an identity or fact secret because it might be embarrassing is very, very important to the case. In the very first short story, the obtuse king of Bohemia can't be linked to the lively operatic singer Irene Adler. No crime has been committed against Lord St. Simon, but the noble bachelor needs to find out why his bride has ducked out. In The Yellow Face, Effie Monroe hides her own child, only to find out at the end that she had an understanding husband. The Crooked Man has a past he would like to get back. The resident patient has a past he would like everyone to forget. The Duke of Holderness will play plenty to keep the newspapers at bay from finding out his secret. The missing 3/4 must keep the identity of his dying bride a secret. In The Blanched Soldier, the Blanched Soldier must hide a skin condition. Near the end of the canon, the lodger was veiled because she was hiding a crime of years ago. There are plenty of scandals or supposed scandals a client wants to keep under wraps in the canon. Today, of course, blackmail is a hard crime to envision because we live in an era of no shame. People would think on their brother, their mother, or their other if they could get 10 minutes of television time to do it. In Illinois, and Illinois is a state reputed for politicians who are greedy, rapacious, and crooked. We had a congressman who took a bribe, got convicted, and then he was hired by a television station as an expert. We had another congressman who did time for statutory rape and then ran again, putting his name before the voters who thankfully did not elect him. And then one of our past governors, Rod Blagojevich, you may remember him if you follow television reality shows, He was convicted, was recently had his sentence commuted by Donald Trump, but he and his wife appeared on a variety of television shows, trying to do anything they could to raise money for their legal defense. In Arthur Conan Doyle's time, scandals were more scandalous than they are today. In 1898, there was a widespread blackmail scam in England revolving around abortion pills. Ads in newspapers at the time encouraged women to buy mail order lozenges that would, in the coded veiled language of the day, remove what was called an obstruction. Of course, the pills did not work. But once your name was on the list, it allowed the firm to send you a follow-up letter offering you to sell you even stronger pills. And of course, those pills didn't work either. Finally, there was a letter from the firm demanding payment from the women. Otherwise, they would be outed. They would be outed to law enforcement, outed to their family, outed to the press. At a time when abortion was illegal in England. Now, there were two very high-profile blackmail cases that would have been well known to Arthur Conan Doyle during the time he was writing the canon. One involves the Duke of Wellington, and the Duke of Wellington, of course, was the person who defeated Napoleon at Waterloo. He had an affair of between 6 and 10 years with a courtesan named Harriet Wilson. And Harriet Wilson was well known as a courtesan. She had 3 sisters who were also courtesans. Apparently, such skills were a family choice. Wellington took up with Wilson when he was 36 and she was 19. Years later, as her beauty began to fade and her financial prospects dimmed, she began to write her memoirs. In 1824, she and her publisher, Joseph Stockdale, wrote to 200 former lovers asking for payment. Harriet got around. She offered each one a fee. Would you pay a fee? And that way I won't include you in the book. Well, some appears did pay the fee, and Harriet was not shy in asking for the money. Stockdale, the publisher, was famous as a publisher of scandal and pornography of the time. Wellington wrote back saying, publish and be damned. So he was willing to let his name be in the book. While Stockdale did publish, the memoirs were released in a serial chapter at a time format, and they were a bestseller. And they allowed Harriet Wilson to live out her life as a wealthy woman. The book is still in print today. If you Google up Harriet Wilson's memoirs, you will still be able to buy a copy and learn a great deal about Victorian mores and Victorian scandals. Now, on this side of the pond in the United States, there was a big scandal in 1905 involving Emily Post. Now, Emily had been born into great wealth. Her father was an architect for the rich. Her mother was an heiress to a fortune in coal. And she was descended from a family that came over on the Mayflower. Emily Price, that was her maiden name, married banker Edwin Post. And he also was very wealthy at the time of the marriage. He came from a hoity-toity East Coast stock. Alas for Emily, Edwin turned out to be a very bad match. Edwin was not content to simply let his money and his wife's money be. He worked very hard at gambling and speculating and managed to throw away almost all of it. He also had a taste for chorus girls. One of the chorus girls threatened to blackmail him for $500. Edwin at the time appears to be down to his last $500 and did not pay. And so the woman went ahead and published. Now, Edwin may not have been mortified, but his wife, Emily, was. She divorced her unfaithful husband. And now, of course, with her own fortune gone, she had to find a way to make a living. And so she turned to writing herself. She wrote 5 novels, which were moderate successes, not bestsellers. And she also wrote travelogues. She would go to travel to a place and write a story about what it was like to be there. But in 1922, she wrote a book on etiquette, on how to conduct yourself in public and how to conduct yourself with guests. And that became a bestseller. The book went through many sequels and editions and led to a newspaper column, which eventually appeared in more than 200 newspapers. Emily Post lived to be 87, lived until 1960, and made a living advising generations of Americans how they should mind their manners. The Emily Post Institute, run by her descendants, still exists today. So think of this, the guide to Americans acting properly all began with an improper act by an unfaithful husband. Now, there are several very good versions of the Charles Augustus Milverton story that exist that you can either Google up or watch. Grenade had turned the Jeremy Brett episode, The Master Blackmailer, into a nearly 2-hour-long movie. If you are familiar with the Jeremy Brett stories, they are almost all an hour long, or about 50 or so minutes once you remove the commercials. But this one they made into a 2-hour movie. The costumes and locations are spot on. The filming is sumptuous. It's elegant. They have a great Milverton and a villain named Robert Hardy. He's evil, mirrors the description of the illustration in the canon. He's creepy, a blackmailer who makes house calls, sort of a stalker. How did they turn this short story into a 2-hour movie? Well, they did it by expanding the things that are in the canon. In the canon, there's a story about Colonel Dorking and Miss Miles, who were blackmailed, of course, by Milverton. It is expanded into a full story here. And if you're ever interested in seeing Sherlock Holmes in a possible love hug or love affair, the story between Escott the plumber and Agatha, the maid of Milverton, is turned here into a pretty good love scene. The result is something that's very, very good. So you can get a good version of it in the Jeremy Brett version. Benedict Cumberbatch in the BBC story Sherlock tackled it in an episode he calls his Last Vow. And if you have Netflix, you can probably get Cumberbatch up on your television for free. Here, the story is modernized. Charles Augustus Milverton becomes Charles Augustus Magnuson, and he becomes a tabloid press baron. He runs a tabloid newspaper in England. He, too, is sufficiently repulsive. The entire thing moves into the modern era. We meet the parents of the Holmes brothers. His brother Mycroft becomes Mike. Watson is an Afghanistan veteran, somebody who had served in Afghanistan with the British Army, and he's prone to flashbacks. Wiggins is in the story. Magnuson is called the Napoleon of Blackmail. Sherlock gets the hots for a Milverton insider just to infiltrate the blackmailer's headquarters. Watson rescues Isa Whitney from an opium den and meets an undercover Holmes there, similar to The Man with the Twisted Lip. I won't give away the ending, but it has a series of decided surprises. This, too, is about an hour and a half long, and again, you can get it on Netflix. Finally, Dead Man's Switch is a story of Elementary, the CBS series. And you can find it probably on Hulu or by searching for CBS if you have your computer. It was season 1, episode 20. Here again, Holmes moves to the modern era, and he is in New York City. His Watson is Lucy Liu, a female Watson. And Watson is very active in this story. She is really an investigative arm, much more than just simply a writer. Elementary makes the entire blackmail plot seem more modern. In the Elementary story, date rape drugs are used to put girls under who are then seduced. While they are being seduced, sex tapes are made, and then the blackmailer threatens to release the sex tapes to the internet unless he is paid. So it really is a very, very scummy, very scummy story. Surprisingly, the blackmail business continues, even though Milverton at one point is sent to sleep with the angels. Again, a very good version of this story, and you should be able to get it by searching CBS or searching Hulu. Now let's talk a little bit about the poetry in the book, the toasts. I'm going to read a couple of them and introduce them. We're going to start with Queen Victoria. A couple of notes about Queen Victoria. First of all, Queen Victoria enjoyed being queen. She loved being the queen. She was very proud of the British Empire. She loved being the Empress of India. She was a person who took her duties as queen very, very seriously. And she had high moral values. She really helped create the modern British monarchy. Before her, the monarchs had not been very well regarded and not very efficient. But she tried very, very hard to do a good job. Now, we are used to looking at pictures of Queen Victoria as an older woman. I'll tell you, when you see a painting of a young Queen Victoria, she strikes me as fairly attractive. Her marriage to Prince Albert developed into genuine affection, love and fidelity on both their parts, something the more modern royals could certainly pay attention to. There is one thing about the Victorian era that most of us have dead wrong. Today, we think of Victorian as a synonym for prudishness. Victoria was on record several times in talking with her physicians, saying that she enjoyed sex. The thing she was not real keen on was being pregnant. But she was a great woman. So, to Queen Victoria. Now we toast beloved Victoria the Queen. An age was named for her, you know what I mean. Empress of India, wife of Albert, mother of many. Her life was filled with honors aplenty. For the recovery of the plans of Bruce Partington, Victoria gave Holmes an emerald quite fairly won. The honor returned was Mrs. Hudson's disaster when the VR in the wall shattered 221B's plaster.
Hi, Dan.
Queen Victoria. Now let's talk about the woman, Irene or Irene. Irene Adler is in only one story, but looms large in Sherlockian lore. Carol Nelson Douglas has an entire series of Irene Adler novels. They are perhaps not as sharp as the Doyle writings, but they are great reading and a lot of fun. Think of what tremendous self-confidence Arthur Conan Doyle had to have to begin his series of short stories by beginning with a short story where Holmes is actually beaten or defeated. How many people begin a long series with the first story where the hero actually loses? The Jeremy Brett story of A Scandal in Bohemia is very close to Doyle's written version, and I recommend it. Over the time, as Irene has been done in other stories, one of the trends in modern thing is Irene has gotten hotter and hotter. You have Rachel McAdams in the movie with Jude Law. Man, she looks great. And Robert Downey Jr. And over in the BBC version, Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch, his Irene Adler turns out to be a dominatrix. So Irene is getting hotter and hotter. To the woman. She was the woman to Holmes he took a good look. We have Watson's word for it. It's in the book. Surely our Sherlock seemed quite in awe. But what did she look like? Watson couldn't draw. Blonde or brunette, high cheeks, dimpled chin, Miss America stunning, or truly quite plain? Or did it really matter if she was love for her brain? Give the feminine sex this, Irene won her case. From Bohemia to Warsaw, she dominated every place. Of the short stories, she appears in number 1. How are females shown in the rest of the run? Hopeless and helpless, you know what I mean. Victims of and bystanders, and of course the queen. Some were good-hearted, some poised and serene, but for sharp mind and charm, I give you Irene. To Irene Adler. Let's move on to A Study in Scarlet. A Study in Scarlet is the very first novel that Doyle wrote about Sherlock Holmes. And in writing A Study in Scarlet, he had a sort of formula, a formula that he copied in The Sign of the Four and also in The Valley of Fear, where first you have the mystery that Holmes solves, and then you have the backstory. You have the story of how the crime originated. And this story is a Western. And I find that, again, fascinating that somebody from England would begin with a Western. And I am a fan of Westerns, and I'll tell you, the second half of the book where you read the Western story is very, very good. I did, however, think it quite odd, and other people have thought it quite odd too, that the hero of the story, the cowboy Jefferson Hope, his weapon of choice is a little container carrying poison pills. Who would have thought a cowboy would try and dispatch his villain with a poison pill? You would have think he would have pulled out that 6-shooter and just banged away. But anyway, here we go. A Study in Scarlet. It's a crackling good story right from the start, with suspense, intelligence, humor, and heart. Few cleverer moments were ever said by man than Holmes' deduction of Afghanistan. It's a murder mystery with plenty of thrills, with a stabbing, blood, and those poison pills. Here's the question, who's really to blame? Killer and victims are not quite the same. Hope and Ferrier proved to be men so true. Against the brave many, against the cruel many, they were brave too. Lucy's beauty remembered, her death avenged, at the end of a tale of love and revenge. The sacred canon will lead to many a story, adventures, memoirs, all told in glory. We'll have lots of looks at different crooks and end with bad guys who turn out to be spies. But in America, we like Doyle the Bestern because he starts the canon with his one Western. To A Study in Scarlet. The Man with the Twisted Lip. And of course, I love the story of about the man with the twisted lip because it's insight into newspapers. And of course, I am an old newspaper editor, and I still write an occasional story or two for the newspaper. They call me from time to time when there's something they need, and I write something for them. Here's a story where a journalist finds begging to be more lucrative than writing, and I'm not sure if Doyle was even penning a pun on himself when he did that. And again, if you're familiar with the canon, we also have a newspaper writer in a later story in the Six Napoleons, Horace Harker of the Central Press Syndicate, and he's not treated as a very bright individual. This story, The Man with the Twisted Lip, is one of several stories in the canon where there is no actual crime. The key, of course, here is the disguise, and there are a number of stories in the canon about the disguises. So anyway, here's The Man with the Twisted Lip. The big clue was a coat filled with hundreds of pennies. If you're searching for a crime here, there's hardly any. Neville St. Clair gave his wife quite a fright by working late on far too many a night. Needing a story, a reporter turned to a beggar's art. Is this how ABC's Geraldo got his start? It certainly was a good thing for his constitution that he wasn't asked to look into prostitution. It was an interesting way Holmes solved the case. What was it your mom said? Go wash your face. To the man with the twisted lip. The Speckled Band. And the Speckled Band is maybe the finest of the short stories. I think this is just a great story. It has a great villain in Grimsby Roylott. And if you're going to have a great hero, you need to have great villains. I mean, what's Batman without the Joker? You need to have great villains. There's lots of action in this story. There's a snake. There's the twisting of the poker. The story begins with a murder right at the outset. And this is a serious case. And it also has a very, very great ending. Doyle liked this story so much, he turned it into a play. And again, if you're familiar with the Jeremy Brett versions, the Grenada version is very, very good here. This was even a story that there's a film version by Sherlock Holmes. So if you want a cartoon with the Speckled Band, you can get a cartoon with the Speckled Band. So let me read the Speckled Band. We come to a tale Doyle ranked among his best. A poll by the readers placed it above the rest. Sir Arthur liked it so much he put it on the stage, where its London success made it quite the rage. The villain of the tale had an evil plan to make his stepdaughters dead spinsters when suitors asked for their hand. It opens with a scene we remember so great. Roylott bends a poker, then Holmes sets it straight. A vigilant Stoke Moran's darkness helped unravel the tome, whose clues were a bell pull, a ventilator, a whistled tone. The swamp adder from India would be fatal with no mistake, but wrinkled yellow Grimsby Roylott was the real snake. His evil late night scheme just wouldn't turn out right when Holmes' swats turned it back in search of a bite. So let this be your lesson if you're planning an attack. Pick a murder weapon that's not looking for a snack. Okay. And let's go with The Creeping Man. The Creeping Man is a surprisingly modern story in the canon. This is a person trying to self-medicate themselves in an attempt to become more virile. Now, there were a lot of scams about this in Doyle's time, including a scheme that involved the transplantation of animal glands into humans. Ugh. Not something that I would vote for. As in other stories, a dog provides a very key clue here. Now, this is in the casebook of Sherlock Holmes, which is toward the end of the canon. It's not one of Doyle's better efforts, I think, but again, it's a surprisingly modern story. So here's my toast to the Creeping Man. A key clue in this case is a snarling dog. I cannot relate. My spaniel sleeps like a log. No doubt the tattletale pooch began to yelp when he suspected his master's pharmaceutical help. If you expect an erotic fiancé to greet you, you just can't act like Tarzan's cheetah. Presbury's hormones were on the make, but monkey serum made him a fruit cake. If he really wanted a honeymoon at Niagara, wouldn't it have been easier to just take 2 Viagra? So there you go. That's The Creeping Man. I mean, I think I'll do one more and then open it to questions. Let's do The Second Stain. Hold on here. We're The Second Stain. This is one of several cases in the canon having to do with espionage. The others are the Naval Treaty, the Bruce Partington plans, and His Last Vow. This is also one of several cases in the canon where a loyal wife makes a great deal of difference. When it comes to marriages in the canon, oftentimes the wife is the better half. This is the one case in the canon that was previously unrecorded. It was mentioned in another case, and then, of course, eventually Doyle expanded and made it a full case. Doyle ranked it among his favorite cases, and again, there's a very good version of this done by Jeremy Brett on Grenada. The second stain. An injudicious memo from a potentate means war. To find the missing dispatch might be Holmes' last chore. Sherlock asks for details. Lord Bellinger gives few. Our man declines the case. Well, he's busy too. The government decides it would be wiser to let Holmes know the notes from the Kaiser. But the message has been lost, has been gone, time has been lost. Ready the troops, and more tax this will cost. Holmes scans the list of London's worst spies. One has been killed, he had a disguise. Lucas was good as a blackmailer, bad as a lover. Madame Fournay knifed him, blowing his cover. A blood stain from Eduardo on a drugget showed someone lifted the rug and drug it. Holmes found the hiding place, the letter was gone. A picture pointed to Lady Hilda as the one. Confronted by Holmes, she turned over the letter. It's back in the box. Everything is much better. Thus, the case ends with a dramatic scene. Good luck for England. The rug wasn't dry cleaned. There you go on the second stain. So, again, I have a toast. I have a toast every case. If there's anyone you particularly want to hear or want to discuss, let me know. I'll look it up in the book and we'll have at it. And if we've consumed the time, well, that's fine too. I hope you enjoyed it. Open any questions or suggestions you might have.
Yes, well, first of all, I will welcome Dan, who came a little late, but at least he showed up to increase our number. I would like to suggest to Bill, if you look in the email I sent you, there's information on an up and coming Curious Collectors Zoom meeting. You should join in with them. And maybe because they have a much larger audience, they might be a really good audience for you. So look in the email and you'll see down further down on the email a link to where you can request to join the Zoom meeting next weekend. That would be a good thing for Phil to do, and get involved in a much larger Los Angeles group.
Oh, it's time.
Now.
Okay, yes,
Although we don't have enough players.
if you send me that link, I will gladly meet with any other group. I'll gladly, I'll listen to it.
It's in the
Group,
email.
participate in a group. If somebody asks for a toast, I'll give a toast.
It's in the
Okay.
email.
So there's a flyer.
Further down.
There's a flyer. I think I can put it in the meeting.
Okay.
We need your help, please.
Now, if I guess you would call this a blatant ad. If anyone is interested in the Book of Toast, I will gladly send you a book. The books are $19.83. That includes my shipping and handling, and also the appropriate sales tax. I do this for groups, for members of Sherlock Holmes groups. If you're a member of the actual group, I'll knock $2 off and make it $17.83.
Wow.
If you're interested. If you're interested, simply email me, Phil Angelo, PHILANGELO at Comcast, COMCAST.net. That's Phil, Phil, Angelo, Angelo, at Comcast, COMCAST.net. And again, for members of the group, because I want to get this out to Sherlock Holmes groups where it can have some usefulness, I'll knock off $2 and make it $17.83, which is pretty much my cost.
Okay, in the chat, I just put a link to the COBS registration, and then I also put a link to a page where I have all the information on Phil's book and how to order it. Okay, that's at collegeserve/BGSW/raisebook.html. You'll see it in your chat. And also it's on the email.
Okay.
So you go there and you can see how to order his book.
Upstairs. Oh, that's me. What's happening?
Okay.
What's that sound? I heard.
Well, I hope that worked for you. I hope it was what you expected.
Yeah, I want to thank you very much for finding your way to us through the iPhone and giving us some good examples of your book. Like I said, I gave a link in the email to a page that has all that information on your book on it. So, and also put it in the chat. On your iPhone, you can't see the chat, can you? Phil?
No. On my phone, I can't see the chat, but that's okay.
Yeah,
people can just send me the email.
Yeah,
oh, wait a minute, I take it back. Wait a minute.
It's in the email that I sent out.
The audio and video works really well. I can see Phil and I can hear him very well. So thank you.
Also, when I put this up online, I'll include the information to Phil's book.
Oh, I hate this part. Go upstairs right now.
I'll have it up online in a day or so.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate the invitation to talk with your group. One of the nice things about Zoom is it allows us to talk via, the entire country, to take in other people in our hobby. And of course, this, if you're Sherlockian, it's really a labor of love. What you're doing is you're keeping the hobby alive by meeting, by talking, by taking quizzes, by giving toasts, by doing whatever you do, by listening to programs, by making programs. You're helping to keep the hobby alive, and it's a great thing to do. I've always been happy to meet with our group. I'm glad to make the acquaintance of your group. And again, if you feel free to email me, if you ever need a toast, if you're doing a particular case and you say, geez, I'd like a toast of that case or novel, just email me or give me a ring and I'll be glad to come into your meeting and read my toast.
When we were meeting
That's
live,
really great too.
when we were meeting live, we used to have readings, we used to have quizzes and toasts, just like a lot of other groups did. But we haven't done a lot of that.
Well, we're just about to get back to live meetings. We will have our first live meeting in a year at the end of June. Okay.
Oh, well, good.
Well, listen,
I understand California is under the state of emergency in middle of June.
Okay.
So things will be returning normal about that.
Okay. Well, that's what I got. I'm gonna sign off now. And nice to meet with your group. Feel
Thank
free
you.
to give me an email for more information, or if you're interested in the book, let me know.
Thank you.
God bless you. Have a great day.
Thank
God
you
bless
very
you.
much.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Phil.
Enjoyed it
Sorry I
thoroughly.
came late.
Aloha from Hawaii.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, Mary, we've been listening to your whole family there.
Yeah, I have a poem from Mary that she sent me in the mail. I can read it. Yeah, hi, Mary. I can read it if you want.
Sure,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Sure, why not? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Things to Ponder by Mary Caldera. I know you have a pen name, Mary. Mary K. Penzenic. Well, I still think of you as Mary Caldera, but okay. Dr. Watson, do you find it perplexing that mask wearing is causing vexation? Sherlock, does this just concern our nation? Or across the pond, are mask wearers fond of the task of continuing to wear a mask? Uncovering things involve quite a task. A vaccine surely can be ouchy, but is crucial according to Dr. Fauci. Sherlock, should we wait out this mystery until the pandemic is history, or solving it, no matter what, is it worth giving it a shot?
Very good. Good, very good.
And tell my wife likes it. Yeah, she's giving it a good review.
Thank you. Say hi to Aunt.
I will. Honey, come in here. She's actually wearing a
Oh, there
mask
you
now
go.
because she's cleaning.
Hi.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Ben. Hi, Mary and who?
And Van and Tim.
Timothy.
Timothy. Yeah. And Jamie was there
Hi,
too.
Jimmy.
Jamie was there, but she
She's got her.
just came home from work.
She's got her bottle of sanitizer. and
Wow.
she's
It was just
cleaning.
an obligation.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I said, yeah. I made up the.
Yes.
We have to clean up the blood stains. No, I'm just kidding. No, not true. It looks like it, right? With the gloves and the.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah, you have to be careful with the woman, she's very cunning. No, I'm just kidding.
Make sure you use bleach. You can't get DNA
Oh,
analysis after you
right. You have to use the gloves. Yeah. No, she just looks suspicious though, wearing those gloves, but yeah.
Well, there's people coming to your house.
That's me. That's my mind. That's the way my mind works as a mystery reader.
There's people coming to your house with ultraviolet rays to check out all your blood stains. So watch it.
Yeah, I haven't really been writing a lot, but I've been making a dream journal. There's very strange dreams I've been having, like my father and his girlfriend inviting me to go to a convention in the Midwest with them, and then I go in my hotel room and open the window. Then there's these weird kind of multicolored fields of these strange crops and these rivers, but they're all strange colors, sort of like in an H.P. Lovecraft story or something. So
what
I don't know. And
what brand of LSD are you taking?
I don't know. But then I had another dream where my mother actually sent my father and I out. We had to go to different guns and ammo stores because she had bought a make-your-own Gatling gun kit, and she had to find the right bullets for them. And I kept telling her, Mom, that's dangerous. The Gatling gun, if you use it, if you try to fire it, it could blow up, and it's, so not a good idea. But we ended up in a big guns and ammo emporium that had like 3 or 4 floors, and they told us, oh, we don't have that kind of ammunition here, but there's another gun store on the first level. You have to take the elevator down, and it was like a big, you know, like a the size of a LA airport or something. But so I don't know why I had that, you know, very strange. So I thought I would share those with you, and maybe we can get some, you know, dream analysis or something. But no, I just thought I'd share them just because I, you know, because that's all I have to share right now.
You're crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, well,
I knew that.
We'll
thank you.
We'll lump you up along with everybody else.
Okay. Okay. So how is everybody? I see that aloha sign
Yes.
behind Mary.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to do my hang 10,
Yeah.
but I don't do it very well.
It must be like
There you go.
Yeah.
Shaka.
Shaka, yeah.
Yeah, everything okay. Everything balanced.
It must
Yeah.
be like
No can't.
Yeah, we've only had 501 deaths total in all the islands put
Oh, that's
together.
good.
So that's been a blessing, you know. Not a blessing for the 501 people who went, but it's like, you know, it's like a low total compared to a lot of the other states.
What's their total population?
I'm not sure right now, but most of us are getting vaccinated. You know,
it more than 10?
I've been vaccinated, and they've opened it to. So they've opened it. Vaccinations now. You can be 16 and get a vaccination with your parents' consent.
yeah.
Is it more than 10 million?
Well, 501, that's only 400 less than 400 fewer than the Dalmatians. So that's
Doggone good.
It's almost as many as shark bites.
Oh yeah.
Got to watch out for the sharks. So.
Yeah. Well, let's see. The movie Cruella is out on HBO. I haven't seen it. Yeah.
We're dog sitting this weekend until Tuesday.
Oh, that's nice.
We have a French bulldog that doesn't speak English at all. And then we have another one called Brisket. Well, the French bulldog is called Prince, and they say he doesn't know his name, so I'm trying to teach him his name in English. So, and the other one is Brisket, you know, like a terrible name for a dog if you're living near Filipinos.
Anyway, if you're hungry, yeah.
If you're hungry, but he knows his name, and he's like, I'm not sure what he is, but.
Prince and Brisket.
But anyway.
Oh, the Census Bureau says that the population for Hawaii is 1.4 million.
Okay.
I don't know if that includes that.
Yeah.
Well, that makes 501 sound even less intimidating.
Yeah.
Me too.
And, well, that's great, Tim. You have not one, you have 2 Dungeons and Dragons games.
I do.
That's good that you're involved in. That's good.
Yeah, but they're not often enough.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
One is like the online one is like Thursdays, but we haven't had a game in like a couple of weeks.
Wow.
So hopefully we'll be able to do that. The invitation is still open for you, Dan.
I'm still, yeah, I think maybe the summer will be a good, maybe in July. I don't know. I can be
that'd be great
or something. I don't know. Okay.
You have a you have a what is that game? Separation. Degrees of separation.
Oh yes, 6 degrees of separation.
Well, you've only got 1 degree of separation from the guy who runs the Thursday game.
Oh really?
Because that.
Oh.
Yeah. Because you know him through Morton's and through me.
Oh.
This guy is a member of the Orange County Science Fiction
Oh sure.
Club.
Okay.
And so you know the Mortons. You know me.
I know the Mortons. I know you. Yeah, and I do, and I know a man from the Orange County Science Fiction Club. It might be the same person, but I don't know him very. I mean, I only have seen him at LostCon, but I was I forget his name now. Oh man.
Oh, okay. So memorable.
So memorable. I can't remember his name. But
okay, yeah.
But I remember because we were in a writing workshop with some professional authors were critiquing our work, like William F. Wu, and this was way back in WorldCon, when WorldCon was in Los Angeles in I don't know 1999 or 1990. I was in the 90s.
There was a WorldCon in 96.
96.
In Los Angeles. Yeah.
Yes, that must have been it. Yeah, and again, it's embarrassing. I don't know his name, but you know, but it had letters in it. His name.
Oh, that cuts it down.
That guy.
I got it before by a good with him.
Oh, okay,
I'll
honey.
be right back.
Okay, be careful. Antal is going to buy wood at Home Depot. Yeah, we're building shelves in the garage to hold my collection of stuff.
Good.
Because we have books, magazines,
stuff.
dioramas of like World War II soldiers and armored vehicles. I mean, you know, 1/35th scale, so small.
It looks like you're taking over your kitchen.
Yes.
I see him sitting
Got my
on
paper
the
towels to this side. I have a Napoleon. I'll show you. Not.
Oh.
Napoleon.
Oh yeah, one.
No, you need 5 more.
I only have one.
What do you think? You
Wow.
only need one. Who needs more than one Napoleon?
Oh, well, that's a bronze.
Yeah, this was
Wow.
no, this is when my aunt and uncle brought it back from. Well, they went to Waterloo on their trip to Europe, and yeah, so it has a little felt base here. And
I don't know if my earphones are working.
Maybe there's
How are
a
you?
pearl inside.
with Waterloo.
Have you opened it up
No.
yet?
Not the Abbott.
That's why he looks so
Awesome.
sad. You got it at Waterloo. That's why Napoleon looks so sad.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Oh. Hey, you know what today is?
Today's Sunday, of course
Let
it
your
is.
hair all down.
It's
and
June
you look
6th. It's
Are
the
you on vacation or
77th
what?
anniversary of D-Day.
Oh my God, that's right.
No, there's
Oh.
I had to
Yeah.
take earphones and put them back in.
Yeah. Normandy landings. Yeah.
No, I can
It's
hear
gonna
you.
be,
Can you hear
it's
me?
gonna be
Seems like yesterday.
80 years.
Can you hear me?
It's gonna be 80 years in 3 years.
I can
Yep.
hear you guys.
There's
Can
an
you hear
oh
me?
wow.
But
That's
somebody's saying, "Can you hear me?" And
Yeah, I can hear
that.
Hi.
whoever it is. I can hear you.
No, I can hear you, Tiff.
Oh.
Can you hear me now?
Weird.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear
All the
me?
mics are open.
Yeah. The mic's coming
Everyone,
in.
raise your hand if you can hear.
No, not at all. Now you can't hear me?
No, we can't hear you at all. That's quite good. No, can't hear
That's
you.
weird.
Not at all.
You're hearing my daughter, I think.
Yeah, but we were also hearing
Oh.
people in the background. I don't know if
I
it
can hear you and
Oh,
me
yeah.
and
maybe your granddaughter Mary, or sometimes Van
What about
has some
now?
mysterious background
can you hear me
noises.
now?
Yeah.
I can't use my earphones. I think when I use my earphones, you can't.
Yeah, those earphones can be, you know.
Wild. We're dog sitting.
I think Tim can hear. He can hear. He can use his hair.
Hi.
I don't know if that.
Yeah, I've got earphones on too, so yeah.
I have a medallion from the World War II Museum,
Brisket and Prince.
and it's
Oh, good.
They're not
Iwo
real
Jima.
friendly, but
I like that, Tim.
Yeah.
Iwo Jima, and then there's World War II Museum,
Okay.
and now it's gone. Where's no, that's not a very good trip.
Magic.
Zoom magic.
Well, we're very close to Pearl
It's behind
Harbor
my
where I
ear.
live. Yeah, we're near West Lock, so we're
Oh.
very close to Pearl Harbor.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Saving Private Ryan is one of my favorite movies, but I
Oh,
can't
yeah.
watch it with my wife because she doesn't like anything with violence, and of course that's a I World War II did have some violence.
I
Yes.
understood it did. Just
Just a little bit, yeah.
Nothing like a battle of Hastings.
I don't know if anyone knows this. This is in Normandy, or oh, what was it? Utah? No, was it Utah Beach? Well, the beach in Normandy in Saving Private Ryan was in real life. It was filmed in Ireland.
Oh.
Yeah, which was kind of supposed to fill in for,
Omaha Beach.
Yeah, which it looked. I couldn't tell the difference.
Amazing.
But I wasn't there, so.
It all looks like Cornwall.
Yeah. One of the things when Antal took on this project of trying, organizing all the stuff that's in the garage. One thing I had back there is I told her it's really heavy. It's a piece of metal and it kind of stands up on end. And I used it I put artificial flowers in it at one point, but it's an 88 millimeter artillery shell from that was used by the Germans in World War II.
Wow.
And then I started looking at them online, and they were selling for quite a few, like hundreds of dollars.
Mhm.
So I said, honey, if you find that, don't throw it away.
Right.
It's just a rusted, it's round.
It's not a flower vase
No,
anymore.
it's not a flower vase, but it's heavy. Yeah, and that's just
Wow.
the shell. That's the part they throw, they throw away. It doesn't actually doesn't get shot through the cannon.
That's the part
But yeah, then so I started looking last night, and there's interesting things for sale, like a Sherman tank shell or a that was fired. So I don't know how they retrieved it or what exactly happened there, but yeah, so kind of interesting little feat. But now it's 75 years since World War II, or I'm trying to do the math. Let's see. Well, so June 6, 1944 to June 6, 2001.
That was just D-Day.
That's D-Day, yeah.
The war. Yeah, the war in Europe ended in May of 45, and then VJ Day was that like August. So yeah, I was just about to start kindergarten in September, right after the war ended.
76 years since the end of the war.
76 years.
80 years since, wow, it'll be 80 years since Pearl Harbor this December.
Yeah, because I'm 81, and it happened in 41, and I was born in 40.
Wow.
So, yeah. It was interesting, Pearl Harbor Day, when everybody heard about it in California, it was kind of like one of those days where everybody took a deep breath and held it.
Oh, I can imagine.
It was like 9/11 and like Kennedy's assassination. It was like the unreal quality, like time kind of stood still for a while. So.
And then not long after
But my dad
that,
survived Pearl Harbor.
we were shooting down
So.
UFOs in San Pedro.
There
Did
we
you
go.
remember that?
I remember that. That
Yeah.
February of
The
42,
Battle of
they started
Los Angeles.
firing guns from Fort MacArthur because they didn't know whether it was a plane that didn't break radio silence or whether it was an enemy plane. But I remember the
UFO.
next day
Martians.
Wow.
going to the store with my mother, and there was shrapnel on the street, you know. Yeah, and I said, "Oh, what's that?" And she said, "Well, that's when they were firing at what could have been an enemy plane, and that's shrapnel. That's what's left of the ammunition." And
Wow.
And,
okay.
and the aliens are coming back
See,
again.
war was normal to me, so.
The UFOs are returning. They're coming to get us. They're sneaking in.
Yeah,
they seem to be.
Yeah, they're going to release all the stuff about it soon.
Yeah, the government is admitting that they don't know what, of course, unidentified flying objects, I guess.
It's funny that all the photos are just these really fuzzy, dim, you just can't make it out.
Yeah, yeah.
Why can't we have like really sharp shots of these spacecraft? Huh?
Exactly.
Yeah, that would be good.
Well, I was watching the video on YouTube, which I sometimes waste, hours on end watching videos on YouTube. But what was that object that had come very close to the Earth? It was like, they thought it was a meteor, Mamuna, or it had almost Hawaiian sounding name.
Oh, yes.
Boo-boo.
Yes.
And then
but it didn't come anywhere as close to the Earth.
Okay.
But it was this really elongated object which came in on a hyperbolic trajectory.
Yes.
And it just came through the solar system.
Passed through our. Yeah.
And then left. Now, here's the thing. It is said that as it was leaving, it actually started to accelerate. So people are going, "Oh no! Oh, it's artificial." Actually, no, because what was happening is instead of the object moving through the solar system, what was happening is the solar system was more moving past the object.
Oh.
And the object might have been accelerating because it's been accelerating all this time.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's on a journey from point A to point B. And if point B is a gravitational attractor, then of course it's going to be accelerating gravitational attractor.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Your rocket scientist has come.
You've come through. Yes, thank you.
Water, we need water, we need water. Oh my God.
Well, you're, our rocket scientist.
Oh my God, I'm flying.
So it's not a, you hear these weird things, and I've been kind of just as a hobby monitoring flat earther videos online. There seem to be, which you thought it was kind of a joke or that would die off after a while, but no, there seem to be more of these flat earther videos being made, and it's basically just kind of like on a playground saying, "You can't tell me the Earth is not flat," and it's like, well, yes, we can. But...
Yes, we can. Ever measure the shadows at noon?
Yeah. Exactly.
In different cities, in different latitudes. You can't get that on a flat
No.
Now read Terry Pratchett. There you go.
And then the photos of the Earth from
space,
the moon is fake.
Yeah.
It's all you know, been done
It's round.
on a soundstage, or it's been done on. I guess they have to say the moon landing was on a soundstage, but and then there's a video that says that Stanley Kubrick was forced by the government or blackmailed or something into filming the moon landing. There's really, you know, kooky stuff out there, which I don't believe, but I kind of am. It's like the Illuminatus trilogy by Robert Anton Wilson and Robert Shea. Like, what if all the conspiracy theories were true all at the same time? That would be kind of a wacky sort of science fictional universe that we would live in. But
universe where physics suddenly goes poof.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, physics lately has already gone poof. It's doing weird stuff. If you've been paying attention, the random physics has gone crazy. Physics is taking on all kinds of new dimensions.
Yeah.
Oh no! There goes gravity! Ah!
Yeah.
There, see?
There you go.
Gravity, it turns out, is fully an illusion. No objects do not actually exist. It's all energy. There are particles that pop into existence and pop right back out of existence all over the universe, all the time. And dark matter is really just Darth Vader returning. Something like that. It's all an illusion. Oh, and when you touch something, you don't really touch it. Did you know that?
Really?
Oh yeah. Your atoms are just getting close to each other. They're not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Not touching you.
Not touching you.
Not touching you.
It's like companionship. It's like companionship without sex.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I have to get ready.
Platonic. That's the word we want. Yeah.
Yes, it's atomic.
That's good.
Well, too much gravity is for people that don't have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Well, sure. Gravity is for work. I'm on vacation.
Too much of anything is it's no good.
Hi.
You see how E.T. did not do well, I think, in the Earth's gravity. I think he was used to having less gravity on his home planet. So
I don't know.
I don't.
I read the book as well as seeing the movie.
Me too.
The
Yeah.
The book didn't mention anything about that.
It's a wonderful book.
Oh yeah, the book was great.
Yeah, William Kotzwinkle, I think, was the author. If I'm not mistaken. Well, and then there's the sequel, the E.T. and its adventures. No wait, his Adventures on the Blue Planet. That's E.T. But then there's the Adventures on the Green Planet, which is where I don't know if Elliot goes to E.T.'s planet or E.T. has an adventure on his. I don't remember exactly.
I'd have to look that book up.
But there's that Christmas TV commercial where I think it was 2 Christmases ago where E.T. came back and Elliot has a wife and children and E.T. wants to, reconnect with Elliot and he shows Elliot and his family a hologram of his family, and then he takes off again.
Oh, the children and the grandchildren and the great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren. The book, E.T. was like 1,000,000 years old.
Yeah, well, that's true.
But he looked good for his age.
And he was a botanist.
Yes. Yes.
He was, yes, yes. I took botany in college.
That's nice.
Do they still teach it?
I'm sure if you wanted to take biology, I took engineering.
Oh, I took botany. We had essay exams in botany.
Oh.
Well, just remember in French, essay means to try, not to succeed.
Oh.
So let's see now. You wanna see something I got recently?
Sure.
I can share the screen. All right.
Shoot, I
See
forgot
what
to brush my teeth.
I don't know.
Let's try this.
Don't forget to brush your teeth.
Oh,
All
I
right.
can share my screen. Uh-oh.
Hey.
Okay. Oh, there it is. All right.
So you see a couple of
Very nice.
points here. These are $10 pieces. They're commemorative
Oh,
coins,
nice.
and they celebrate the Library of Congress. They were minted back in 2000.
Mm-hmm.
And
wow.
This is actually a bimetal coin. It's made of 2 metals. The outside is gold, but the inside is platinum.
Oh.
That's silver. That's platinum. It's the only bimetal coin the U.S. has ever made for regular issue. The only other bimetal coin was a cent back in 1792. That was only a pattern piece. So this is the only bimetal coin the U.S. has produced for regular circulation. This puppy is in proof 69. The best grade of any coin is the index 70.
Wow.
So this is just one less than the absolute perfect coin. It's worth about $1,200. I have it in a safety deposit box, but I always take pictures of my acquisitions.
Yes. Beautiful.
Very nice.
Wow.
Well, let's see if I can.
Very nice, Tim.
If I can stop.
It's gold and what?
Platinum.
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 Yep. Okay.
So let's see if I can.
Very
it
nice.
looks like it's about the size of a dime, right?
It's actually the size of a quarter.
Okay.
Quarter. Oh,
I'll measure it.
Yeah, roughly speaking. I mean, like, this would be that, a quarter would be like that. It's close.
Oh, somebody just drew inch marks around it.
That's me.
Sorry. Interesting. No, I did not. I did not know you could do
that.
Yeah,
you can go to annotate at the top of the screen, or you go to view options, go to annotate, and yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
An art project.
That is so cool. That is so cool. All right, that's enough of that. Okay. Well, there you go. So much for show and tell here.
That was great.
I should Mary, I should tell you about the time I brought in a $1 gold piece into the one of the meetings,
wow.
The Gales. And one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to collect coins from the first year of each mint. So the San Francisco Mint opened up in 1854. So I got myself an 1854 gold piece. So I brought it in to the Gales meeting, and everybody was going, wow, this is so cool. And I come to realize that 1854 is the canonical year of Sherlock Holmes' birth. Like I accidentally brought in something that was like, not only was it cool to me, it was cool to approved
Cool to the group.
because it was Sherlockian appropriate. It was like so interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was that coin is also in the box.
Uh-huh. None of the Gales snatched it by accident.
No. I sure have.
Yeah.
Is that your granddaughter in the background, Mary?
Yeah.
She was doing a pirouette. So she looks like she.
Yes, yes. She's 8 years old now. So. Getting taller. Her feet are extremely large.
Oh, okay. Somebody else is coming.
Whole family has large feet, so yeah, we have good understandings.
Hi, Robert.
Okay. So that's the end of the meeting. Thank you all for coming on, and that'll be it. Good.
After that very important announcement,
Kidding.
we really, I don't know what to say about that announcement that Tim just made about the blustering gales. It's quite earth-shattering. I'm just gonna have to absorb it.
There you go.
Oh,
How are you
Robert.
today?
Yes.
Robert's joining us.
Yes.
Robert is joining the
Very
meeting.
good.
Welcome. Welcome to our humble abode.
He's joining the meeting, but we can't see his face, and I don't know if we can hear him.
Well, he has to click on start video.
I am Dracula. I bid you welcome.
Ah, very good, very good.
Children of the night, what beautiful music they make. I show that to my my classes because one essay assignment is about why are zombies and vampires popular in modern American culture.
Maybe because they've been around for so long. I mean,
That's
when
true.
did Bram Stoker write Dracula?
Yes.
This is must be like what, 19th century, late 19th century maybe.
Yeah.
And let's not forget Frankenstein.
Mary Shelley.
Yeah.
Mary Shelley.
Mary Shelley, also back in the late 19th century.
Yes.
So there you go. So they've been around.
Yeah.
At least the Frankenstein and the vampires. They've been around since those stories, which is well over 100, getting down to 150 years now. They're quite popular.
Yep.
Yeah, I give them the two essays to read. One is Why Vampires Never Die by Guillermo del Toro and Chuck Hogan. And then there's one, Are Zombies Ourselves, which is kind of an interesting title, by James Parker. And yeah.
We almost had Robert.
I know.
He was almost there.
Yeah.
The eagle has landed.
Almost there. Yeah. Hey, has anybody been watching? There's a serial on I don't know if it's Netflix or HBO, For All Mankind. Anybody seen that?
No.
About it? Oh man, you can get excerpts, a couple of minutes on YouTube.
Oh.
Apparently, the premise is that it was the Russians who beat the Americans to the moon in '69, and it goes on from there.
Oh my God. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it goes on up through like Apollo 24, etc. And apparently it's like a sort of a period piece, an alternate history period piece from '69. I think they've gotten up to like the 80s or 90s or something like that. And eventually, if they keep renewing it, it will pass the current day and then go into the future.
Oh,
so that'll be interesting to see if that happens. But right now they're still, stuck in an alternate past. So it's interesting because back then, the U.S. kept the Apollo program going because we were so embarrassed because the Soviets got there first.
Wow. I wonder if it shows the Americans filming their own moon landing or actually trying to get there, the honest way. We'll have to watch it.
Oh yeah, there's a scene where Apollo 11 actually crashes.
Oh.
But it's okay. It's okay. The guys are okay. I don't want to spoil it, but the guys are okay, and they actually launch again, and it's pretty intense stuff. Even if I've spoiled it for you, it's still pretty intense stuff. You can check out small excerpts, 2 to 5 minutes each, on YouTube. Check, search for All Mankind.
All Mankind.
I don't know if it's HBO or what, but
no, I don't either. I use Amazon, but I don't have to pay. I mean, I go in and there are free movies that stream on Amazon. They're really bad, sort of mostly low budget movies.
Well, of course they are.
But they're fun. Yeah. There's an IMDb channel. It's from the website IMDb, which is kind of a Hollywood, everybody who's ever worked in Hollywood has a page there or some kind of information on them. I think that's what it is. Yeah, and but there I found this series that started a few years ago called Operation Blue Book, and it's kind of like the one that you're describing, Tim, but it starts with the Roswell incident, and it's about a college professor who's kind of talked into going and teaming up with a World War II veteran, an Air Force officer, to investigate reports of UFOs, and it's supposed to be true. I mean, or based on actual events, but the professor's wife is befriended by a woman who starts to get more and more friendly and come over to her house, and she's a Russian spy. It turns out, so Soviet spy. So I kind of got a little. I've taken it. I mean, I watched like 4 episodes. I'm going to go back and watch the rest of it, but I've been binge watching it. I find now that I can use my Kindle to watch videos, and I have I can do while I'm on the treadmill exercising. Now I can watch it. So, Project UFO by Jack Webb. Oh, I need to watch. Yeah.
Oh, those would have been back in, I don't know, the 60s. Back Jack Webb was doing Dragnet.
The old Dragnet series.
I remember. Just the facts, man.
Right. Sergeant Joe Friday. Yes.
And his partner, what's his name? What was Joe Friday's partner?
I don't remember his sidekick.
Played by Harry Morgan.
Yeah,
Who did a wonderful job.
Yeah.
I also watched the old the film She that was based on the H. Rider Haggard novel, and it had I can't think of his name. I'm bad with names today. Who played Watson? Here, Nigel Bruce. I got my. Nigel Bruce was one of the lead actors, but it's really interesting to find out what happens when a woman finds the secret of immortality and decides to create her own little empire in Siberia. And
what is this?
It's called She.
Oh.
Yeah, it's based on a novel by H. Rider Haggard. I got to see that for free.
Okay.
Who would want to build an empire in Siberia?
Yeah, I know.
I built it here in Hawaii. It's warmer.
When the explorers get there, they find that the locals call her "she who must be obeyed." So.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I know, but.
You ever watch any of the things on YouTube from the International Spy Museum?
Oh, no.
Very interesting.
There's a bunch of stuff.
And there's this one spy, and his name was Jack Barsky. And he worked for the KGB and everything. And then finally one day a knock on the door came, and it was the FBI, and he decided to cooperate. But it was interesting because he was saying that series called The Americans, that's pretty close. He said that's pretty close to what they were doing. Yeah. Embedding the people.
Yeah, in Project Blue Book, it kind of reminds me of the Americans.
The sleeper cells, yeah.
Because you have people who were, spoke perfect English and, did a lot of research.
Somebody actually put out this list of things to look for to identify an extraterrestrial alien. You could these things that aliens would do that people would not do. So there's this interesting list, and the list says aliens don't understand how to eat Earth food properly, and they improperly.
Really? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
They also improperly use tools.
Well, that describes me.
So,
but okay.
Right. Well, here's the thing. Many years ago, Pizza Hut came out with the cheese and the crust pizza. So I did this thing where an alien says, "Finally, I always eat from the crust in. Nobody will know I'm an alien now." And his friends say, "They'll still know you're an alien." And the alien says, "Why?" And he says, "Use of the wrench is a clue."
You have not been there.
That's good. I like that. Okay.
Who's on the back? Who's got on the background?
The music.
Oh, okay, great. Wonderful.
So those aliens could use that Emily Post etiquette book, right?
They knew how to read it.
It's a cookbook.
It's a cookbook! To serve all mankind. Yes.
They have a reminder, when the alien starts to say, "Oh, I'm looking forward to these meatballs. Let's dig in." And then the other says, "Use the fork, Luke." That's not that.
Oh, sure, why not? What the heck?
Not that funny.
Hey, I'll laugh anyway. What the heck?
Thank you. Did you hear the one where the dog in the Old West walks into a saloon and says, "Looking for the man who shot my paw"?
The horse walks in and the bartender says, "Why the long face?" There's a commercial goes, it's something like a lamp, a table, and a rug. Like these are things you can look for. And at that point, I keep thinking, this is a joke. We need a punchline for the joke. So I go, okay, a lamp, a table, and a rug. Walk into the bar. The lamp and table say, "Don't trust the rug. He's always lying."
That's funny.
The table says, "Ask the lamp. He's pretty bright."
Oh. I like that.
Yeah. Well, I just thought it.
So why did the pony visit the doctor?
Because he was a little horse.
He was a little horse, yes.
It was a little horse.
Very good. Very good.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I knew that one. Oh, thanks, Dad. That was a
That's an easy one.
good
I'm glad you know it. Yeah. Thank you for remembering my punchline. After grading all these papers, that's why I kind of I learn a lot about writing, about bad writing. No. But it also teaches me about how to be a better writer, and also teaches you how to be tactful about not, giving people suggestions without making them feel like they're hurting their feelings.
So what do you teach?
Well, the English composition. Yeah.
I think University of San Diego actually has science fiction writing courses.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, my wife and I used to go down to Condor, which is in the San Diego area. So a lot of people from CSUSD or UCSD attend Condor.
That's very cool. Wow. Yeah, I have to go back down there sometime. I used to go to Comic-Con quite often when it was in San Diego.
Oh man! And you joined the zoo.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Jamie and I once went to one of the Comic-Cons up here at the LA. I think it was the LA Comic-Con, and the thing was like a total cattle call. It's like, they line you up, and they shepherd you all over the place, and it's like, it's so crowded.
They let too many people in. Yeah. Well, I was there with Paula Salo and Paula Green, and Paula with her walker, she kind of like pushed people. She found her way through the crowd amazingly well. So and then after actually, instead of staying overnight at a hotel, I planned to drive back home that night, and my friend and I walked to the parking garage, and the parking garage was closed for the night. So there I was, stranded in downtown San Diego, and I don't know if my friend drove me home, and then but we had to go back. Like, this was a Saturday, we had to wait until Monday morning, and my friend Tony drove me all the way back to San Diego to pick up my car. So
wow,
a little bit of adventure. It could have been worse. I could have been in the in New Jersey. No, no. Or in the Death Valley or something.
I was flying home from the New York area, and flight to go to a Long Beach airport, which is where I took off, and they couldn't do it. They had to cancel the flight. So the closest thing I got was a flight to San Diego, So I had to call Jamie, and she had to pick me up in San Diego.
No.
I know, right?
It's quite a drive, yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I called Jamie to tell her about this, and I start off with, I got some really bad news about this. And I finally tell her, you got to pick me up in San Diego. And she's going, that's not bad news.
Oh, good.
You're telling me this is bad
That's nice.
news? That was not bad news. I'll be honest. When they originally told me San Diego, I thought they were talking like San Jose or San Francisco, which would really be a heck of a drive.
Yes.
So that would have been like a big problem. But San Diego's probably nothing.
Not that bad.
Couple hours, that's it.
Bring the hot dogs and beer.
Oh, yeah.
That's what Ben said. Yeah.
Yeah. One of these days we're gonna go back to San Diego and see a bunch of stuff. We were down there for like a very long weekend several years ago, and we took a tour of San Diego, some of the, especially some of the ships.
Oh yeah,
that was fun.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I think we did go to the Reuben H. Fleet Museum. There were a couple of ships. It's like right on the coast. Wow. So the ships were docked, so you could go on board the ships and tour them. So that was interesting.
And they have a beautiful big statue of the famous kiss in New York City on DJ Day.
Yes.
Yeah.
That famous photo. Yep.
Yeah, Antal and I took a tour. We went. There was a conference for not just for English instructors, but it was like a literary. Just anyone who wanted to write a paper about interpreting literature or film or this is what I think this story means. We went there in 2019 and we took kind of a pedicab tour. And we felt kind of sorry for the guy. He's like cycling us all around on his three-wheeled bicycle, basically. Well, we got to know him. He's an immigrant from Russia, and he has a wife and 2 children, I think.
He must be very fit. Pedaling bicycle all around the city.
He kept saying, "Moose and squirrel must die." No. No.
Was his
Boris
girlfriend
Badenov.
Was his girlfriend named Natasha? Oh, that was one of my favorite shows. I think we got the series on DVD, but I'm not sure. But I still love that show, and I'm sure you can get flicks of it on YouTube.
Yeah, I like it. There's one episode where my mother was from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but she would always tell us she's not from Pittsburgh. It's McKeesport, which is like right near Pittsburgh. But then there's an episode where Rocky and Bullwinkle somehow end up in McKeesport, Pennsylvania, and they talk about being at the confluence of the Monongahela and Youghiogheny rivers, and it's all accurate information. It just sounds like they're making it up, but all these interesting names. Of course, they're Native American names, Youghiogheny and Monongahela. But yeah, I mean, these places like that I learned about from Bugs Bunny cartoons, like like Albuquerque and Walla Walla. I mean, they're all real places.
I should have told less
Albuquerque, yeah.
No, I just did a search on YouTube for Rocky and Bullwinkle, and a bunch of stuff is there.
Wow.
Check it out, yeah.
I think I told you I had the Rocky and Bullwinkle role-playing game, and Tim and I made an agreement to play it once we get back to the normal.
Yes.
I'll show you. I'll go and get it. I'll be right back.
All right.
We'll play it now. No.
Rocky, you want to see what I forgot in my hat? I can't. Presto! Ah! What's the got in the wrong hat?
Yes. Oh, look at that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is the Bullwinkle and Rocky role-playing. I don't know why it's Bullwinkle and Rocky. I always thought it was Rocky and Bullwinkle.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah, yeah. Role-playing party
Oh,
game.
that sounds like
Natasha.
that sounds like fun.
Yeah, and it's
Why do you have to go on there and eat it?
yeah, it has character. It even has puppets. Yeah. Moose and squirrel must die, you know, on my hands. No, character cards. It has spinners, like for instead of those funny shaped dice that we use in D&D, it has spinners. And cards, secret plans. So it's got you can win a diploma from What's the Matter You. And yeah, so and now here's something you really like.
And now
So.
for something, yeah.
Oh, and I'll show you. My friend brought me Inglewood-opoly. Like, I don't know where you found that, but I think they have one for almost every city in the
That
United
is funny. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, if they wanted to be authentic, they would have a little guy wearing a mask with a gun. But no, no, that's it's cute. No, I mean, art. Crime is the crime rate is pretty much down, but you know, it's
okay.
There are places I wouldn't recommend that you walk around at night by yourself. But there's the Forum.
Oh, look at that.
Forum,
Okay.
yeah, and Florence Avenue. They show the big donut. They do have a donut here, but you know, Randy's Donuts. It should be. I haven't even know. It still has the shrink wrap on it, but.
Oh.
Why?
Yeah. So.
That's got to be a collector's item.
But I agree with you. Yeah, Van. Where's the big donut? Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. So. Pick a card. Okay. All right. So.
That one.
Okay. A medal. Good job. A medal. Oh, I'm being bad. Pennsylvania Order of the Double Cross. Throw it away and you get shot. Oh. Well, that's not good. Okay. Okay. Well. All right. Well, this gives me some ideas. We could do a some kind of a game, you know.
That could be fun.
Like a card game or something. Yeah.
Put something together. Throw something together.
Yeah.
You know,
I know. Van and Carol and I, you know, years ago we would play Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, which is a board game, but I don't know how well that would do online.
Yeah.
That is not a timer to play with. No.
But it is something to play with.
Don't do that.
Play with it.
Do not run with scissors.
But I want to play with it.
But I want to put up my nose. Oh. No, this is if you cross your eyes like that, they're gonna stay crossed. No, I shouldn't make. I shouldn't joke. See? So this is actually a thing from my wife to clean your ears, but you have to be very careful not to use it in a moving vehicle. Yeah, that, ouch.
Do not exit a moving vehicle.
Right, right.
All right. All right, so, woohoo. Oh, dear.
I realize oh, hi, there's the doggy.
Yep.
Dog?
There's a puppy.
Yeah.
There you go.
You're a bulldog, remember.
Bulldog.
You're not a chihuahua.
Sit down.
The French bulldog.
Here, doggy.
The French bulldog. And Brisket's over there. So. Brisket.
Oh, Trisket, a casket, $3 basket. I had the zombie survival guide. Well, let's see.
Okay.
Never use a basement as a shelter. Popular horror flicks have shown that in a crunch, this subterranean chamber can protect the living from the dead. This is a dangerous fallacy. Burning, suffocating, or simply starving to death in basements have claimed hundreds of lives over the years. So be careful.
Okay. So Dan is sharing a bunch of good stuff here. Let's see what we got. Let's see, way back.
Oh, Sherlock Gnomes.
Sherlock Gnomes.
Oh, the Wayback Machine. Wow.
Yes. Mr. Peabody.
No.
That was another J. Ward production. You would show that with the Rocky Bullwinkle.
Oh, okay.
They had a movie. They did a movie on that. They also did a movie on Rocky Bullwinkle. Yeah. I haven't seen the Rocky Bullwinkle, but I did see the Peabody and Mr. Sherman movie.
Yes, I'm Mr. Sherman, and this is my boy, Peabody.
Yeah.
Now, I don't remember their names. What did their names?
Nope, you got it right. If boy cannot have dog, then dog shall have boy.
Father, why did the mouse take the thorn out of the paw of the lion? Well, son, he was just showing how good a mouse can be. No, I don't. I'm just making this up. Yeah.
Cool. We're
My toes.
What's the matter with you?
We're gonna have to play that game.
Yeah.
Hey, Prince.
Come here.
Oh dear. Oh.
Is that?
What did he do?
He's just jumping all over the place. So.
Adventure.
Oh, there we go. That's all.
Can we get sound? I wonder if we can get sound. Or that's just that. Okay.
Well, it's 4 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock. So
Okay. So
Who's eating your Legos?
okay.
I'm not trying to rush anybody.
Got it. So I guess Van is
Went to the market.
I think you would.
This little piggy came home.
It was fun.
Oh no, no more piggy.
Staring at brisket.
It was fun. Okay, Van, we get the hint.
It's time for tea.
We get the gist of it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Well, so it was good. Dan, it was good. It was good.
Thank you all for
It was
coming.
good.
Great to see you.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah. Van, Tim, Mary,
And
Jamie,
Robert,
Robert.
Aloha.
you're there.
We know you're there.
Yeah.
We know you're there.
We know where to find you.
Yeah. All right. Well, then I'm gonna leave and take my wife out to dinner.
Oh, that's
so.
nice. Have a good dinner. Yeah, I'll be doing some more grading of papers. My wife is outside and organizing the garage.
Oh, you're in trouble
So
now.
you get to see it. The garage door will not hit you in the head anymore.
Oh, that was,
Eventually,
We have an automatic
yeah.
garage
that
door
was the
opener now.
best part.
We have a,
Oh.
well, yeah. I'm sorry. We'll be happy to hit you in the head if you want, but the garage door will not hit you in the head.
Yeah, that's good.
It's like a Monty Python routine. You walk in, it says, oh, okay. She needs my help. Okay, bye.
There
Bye,
you
Mary.
go.
Bye, Van.
Okay,
Okay, honey, I'm coming now.
take care.
Bye.
God bless.
It's honeydew time. Well, Mary,
Yeah.
it was weird.
Hey, Van, are we going to meet? Are we going to meet on? Are we going to meet on Saturday, or does this take the place of it?
On Saturday, oh, you mean the
Because we were
12th?
going to meet every.
No, not the 12th. I had to change
The
the
11th or
name.
something.
I had to change the name to the
Uh-huh.
name to accommodate our guests.
Right.
So that's why.
Yeah,
But
that's fine. So we're going to skip Saturday then.
the tentative date will be the second Saturday in each month. But that may change if we get again.
So we'll do it again in July, right? Yeah. So we're not going to do this Saturday. We'll do in July.
Yeah.
Right?
Unless you want to get together sooner.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway,
I'd have to do it on my phone. So
thank everybody for coming. And I'll put this up.
Thank you so much. This was very enjoyable.
I'll put
the
this
guest
up.
was excellent, and it was good seeing everybody.
On YouTube.
You take care.
Okay.
Aloha.
Aloha.